This is Rick. Welcome back to Wordle, and I've been thinking a lot about this part of the program now, the letters and the keyboard. Clearly it's not dimmed, but we are getting the letters that we pick as colored in. But what I really now want to focus on is, can I make the A, the R, and the O green on the keyboard? And this is that variation we've been talking about, or I've been talking about. And I'm thinking about taking advantage of this letter with color. Remember that the NCURSES mode, and actually every view mode, has the all-important model in it. Because it has the model, when we draw the keyboard, we can grab the model, have it, remember, and we can check the guess rows inside of the model. We don't need to check the guess rows. We can just check, we can just loop through this function, letter with color, for the latest guess row. I think this will work, and I want to code it up to see if it will. A in guess row. I don't think I meant to have that in there, but so what I'm gonna go for is, for every letter inside. So here I'm gonna first, let me close this up, fold this code. Oh, bro, too far. So when I draw the keyboard, I am going to examine these. I'm going to go through every letter of the keyboard row and check the game's not used letter array, but instead just loop through the letters with the color. And I'm going to do this only for the latest guess row, the last one. So there's some code that does that already in the test. You can see this code here, guesses last, and we can use the exclamation point. But when we're in this function, we know that we're going to have a guesses row. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to go off screen and do this, and been thinking about this. The last piece I'm going to leave with is, there is an efficiency thing here. For every character, I'm going to loop through this thing 5 times, but it's a puzzle game, and it's only going to loop through 5 times across 26 letters. That's 130 times, and the computer's very fast. So I don't think we're going to see a problem. So this is the current code that we have, and again, I'll take a quick. I don't need. I was going to take a screenshot. I'll take a screenshot of this. That's the before, and then we'll do an after shot in a bit. Let's just pop up that before shot here. So again, we're going to change this so that we get the correct behavior. I thought there was a way for me here to edit this thing. Or tools, annotate. Yeah, here we go. Text. I'm going to put here. Wow. Before. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to make the text be a little smaller. And we're going to make this be yeah. All right, so let me go off screen. We're going to try to change this so that when we put in price and a rose with the aroma puzzle word, that the A, the R, and the O will appear green, and all the tests that we see in the keynote. So let's see what I can do. Yeah, I really have to think about this code, but this looks like it should do it. Let's step through it together. What this is doing is, when I borrowed this code up here, but you see I changed this from nil to white. But if I let me close this one. It's this keyboard row here. So if I grab this and just bring it down here so we can look at this together. Draw the keyboard. I'm gonna, in fact, maybe do it this way so it's easier for us to reason about what's happening. So what this is doing is for every letter in the key row, Q, it will loop through the game's last guess array, and it will loop through letter with color. Now, letter with color is a tuple that contains the letter and the color. So for every letter with color tuple, break apart the tuple and then check, does the letter equal K? And if it doesn't, then we draw if letter equal K, then we want to draw this string K without any of these attributes. Remember, it's not in the letter. It no, wait a minute. We got to be careful. We want to match. So for every letter, for every tuple, we want to break it apart and check its letter. So, like, say this tuple is let's put here. Guess this array last is equal to a taser, for example. So we check, is color equal to this, is the letter from the guess equal to this key row? If it isn't, then we loop through we have to loop through again. Yeah, we have to loop through until it finds one. Yeah, I'm in a loop that's 3 deep. So, but we want this to return. This is why I wanted to make a separate data structure to hold this, so that I'm kind of doing this as a shortcut, but this is exercising my brain a bit. It's taking a little time for my brain to warm up to this task. It might be helpful to make a function here. Is k in guess, and if it is, then it will return its letter color tuple, which is guess is a letter with color tuple. But if it isn't, then it returns no, and it will draw the keyboard with a nil argument. That might make it easier to reason about this thing. So let's do it this way. I'm trying to think if I have enough energy to do this tonight. Yeah, so let me take this out. X this, and I'll put this right here in this func called isLetterInGuess. So this is going to return a Boolean. Oh, wait. Yeah. This is tricky because I want it to return a Boolean, but then if it is in the guess, then I'll have to do that same loop again. So you can see that this is going to do a lot of work. We want nil to be a value that can be returned from this. But what I'll do instead is just make it return the tuple, which is actually in it's like this one, an array. It's going to return a tuple that is string. not in, if it's not in there, then it's gonna be nil. I'm glad I'm coding this, but clearly I didn't do any work besides just thinking about it off screen, offline. But yeah. I mean, let's do it the quote hard way. Let's do it this way. This is going to return a Boolean. This is going to be passed a string. Let's make it S. If letter is equal to K. So now I'm going to take this. This whole block is going to be another function that's going to return the tuple. I'm going to just name, for now I'm going to name this down here. Just to silence the error. So toBeDetermined is the thing that we're going to have to really work on. But that's for another time. I really kind of botch things up. Let's see what the compilation looks like now. Oops. Did I I got this wrong. This is just Swift here. I need that. Is that what that's? I don't know why it's complaining about this, because I always express the return value. Let me look here. Oh, the return value is that. Okay. I'm going to try to compile this. Ooh, this is programming. I like jumping off the edge of a cliff. I like jumping off a cliff and seeing if I could assemble it while I'm falling down. That's sort of what's happening here, but if this compiles, then I'm going to go off screen and try to build it based on these smaller functions that I have. Oh boy, I really botched it now. Oh, it's complaining over here. Oh, brother. Oh, I botched. What I did here was I pressed the percent key, which does parentheses matching, and I just forgot a parenthesis here. Probably this one. So now that loop is correct, that loop is correct, and this function is correct. So let's rerun the build. Yeah, this is yeah, now these are just warnings. Yeah, K string never used, K never used. Type of expression is ambiguous without more context. On line 114, oh, here's this guesses array business. It does need the exclamation point before the last. So that was in Wordle. Model tests. Guesses dot last bang. There should be another one here in this toBeDetermined function. I don't know if this letter color equals C, if that complaint will be cleared up now that I do the guess. Chain the optional force unwrap. Yeah, letter with color. Actually, letter with color. This whole syntax is from addNewGuess. Yeah, for C in S dot letter with color, and then I do that let. So this could be better. I just made two changes here with the bang. So yeah, this is a tricky code. But I feel, now we got a lot of errors. Yeah, cannot find K in scope. Okay, this is 89 is K. So this is actually, this is the S that we're checking for. So this is going to be S. Actually, I'll just make it K. And same thing with this. Yeah, we're making one simple change and doing a build, and I have two functions that one I'm not going to use right now, but the other one I am going to use, and we're making one change and doing a build to make sure we're not causing ourselves too much work. We're kind of ignoring the warnings. Here now is character offset, but let's go all the way to the top. Yeah, K string cannot be found in the scope. So this thing in toBeDetermined, yeah, we don't want any of this, because what's going to happen is, let's actually do it this way. Do a lot of folding, because one of the things I remember of late, there are a lot of developers that like to have their keyboard in horizontal fashion, so they instead of a wide display, they actually have a tall display. And I sometimes think about that when you have a function that does all this. What's going to happen is, for K in key row, it's going to do a check. It's going to say, if isLetterInGuess, and I just realized this should be isLetterInLastGuess. That's the logic of this. If this letter is in the last guess, then we're going to get back the tuple from toBeDetermined. I am going to just make that be, make that look like this, let letter color. I'm going to say let letter color equal toBeDetermined. We're going to pass in that K. So if we get the letter, if it's there, we're going to get the letter and the color that it is. Otherwise, we're going to do this. We're going to take this last part I'm going to just grab these blocks here, just copy it down here. And in fact, as a test, just to be sure everything is working, we can just do it this way without doing any of this logic here. So is the letter in the last guess? If it is, then we're going to get this to be determined. But for now, we can just say let letter color equal, what did I put here? K, and if it's in the guess, then we're going to color it white. Then the color pair that we're going to use is let me look at the difference already. Oops, no, that's a new one. Draw keyboard. Oh, that seems like a lot. Oh wait, it's all here. Show the change. I'm afraid to look. Yeah. So if it's in here, then we're going to do this. I guess I'll put it here. So this is the old code. Else, I'm just going to put this here. And where is the rest? Where's that block here? Show the change. White. Yeah. And we'll also do the same if it's in the guess, then we got to draw it white. Otherwise, we draw it with nil. So now that also should fix up this. These four we don't need. Yeah. That should be okay. So now let's see if it compiles. Yeah. This is real programming. This is what it looks like for somebody who is just trying to wing it. I'm just trying to wing it here. All right. So now we got this almost working. We just got to cast this. And if this builds and it runs, what we should see is, if you've been following, we're going to see this exact same thing. But if it is in the guess, then we will use this next function toBeDetermined to get the actual color to display. And then we're going to use this logic from the isLetterInLastGuess. We're not even going to use this. We're just going to return the tuple. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah. So this built, so now we're just going to run it. What? Did I do it up here? No. Let's see. Yeah, see how much the code had to change, and then we had to then, how much the code had to change, and then we had to kind of squash it back together again. That's, yeah. Look at that error. And isLetterInLastGuess, we need this to bail out. So if we need it to bail out if there is no last guess. So we're going to say if the self game we're just going to bail out and return false. We're not even going to do the rest of this. There's no need to. That should take care of that optional error. There's probably a better way to do this, like with a statement, but I'm going to keep going, following this along, and maybe we can clean it up. Yeah, this is the real test. Can it draw the keyboard again? Okay, so we got that part. Now if I do price, okay, that's good. If I do arose, so you can see I botched something, but it's fixable, right? So here I go. I'm gonna go and try to debug this. If you got ideas, send it to me in the chat. I'll just keep going. If you've been following at home, I just figured out the error. It's this. It's going to return false if there's no guesses, but if it has guesses, then it's always going to return true. So I just got to fix this logic here. Really, honestly, it's going to look like something like this. Notice we just return right out of it. Let's see what this does. So that's this one, and you know, it's almost an hour going at this. I've been rambling and then refactoring. You saw me stretch the code out. Not pretty. And there's going to be a lot of optimizations that we're going to be able to do, but for a puzzle game where the largest number is only 5 for the letter count and 6 for the guesses count, it shouldn't matter. Yeah, so this is working properly. Oh, but look, did you see that? P-R-I-C-E, but look, P-R-I, so it only does the latest row. So if I do gauge, oh boy, rows. So the keyboard is changing, and it's changing properly, but this is what I was afraid of, that I'd have to loop through all the guesses. I was also, I'm kind of miffed that I was hoping Curses would remember the attributes, but then you can see here, I am looping through only the last guess, and for all the other ones I updated. So now it seems like what this has to be is letter in any guess. What do people think of that? Now I'm going to loop through all the guesses that are in here. It can't just be the last one. So what I'll do is I'll commit this code, have you think about it out there in the world, make a merge request, I guess, a pull request, but I'm going to come back to this probably sometime next week for me. That's stuff I'm doing. I won't be online. But let me commit this, and you know, this thing with the toBeDetermined, let's just at least make sure this part works. This is almost toBeDetermined. Am I returning the right thing here? K green. So let's make this K white. We're not using it, remember. But this should still give us the same activity, and we'll commit this. We'll think about it some more. And what I'm now thinking about is inside of guess row. No. We'll do the same thing here. it's populating an array, the used letters array. Not here, in the model. Use letters. And so what we could do is, instead of appending an array, we can append the tuple from guess row. So right here, guess row, update row, we can then loop through the we can loop through use letters, and instead of appending it a string, we could do something like this. We're not going to do this, but it'll be like a green, for example, and so we'll do that, and use letters will be an array of tuples where all the letters are used in the game along with what color it should be. This is the original thing I wanted to do. This is the one that had the most appeal. But honestly, I kept coming back to the idea that, hey, there's only a few letters. I mean, why am I worried about performance? But it is the more elegant when you consider all the work that we're doing to try. So if I do price, now if I do rows, yeah. But it is working now, at least to be determined. So let's go and commit this change. All right. Yeah, so that's programming. Believe it or not, for me, it was fun to root around this logic and just to try some things, compile some things, get the code to some working state. It's obviously broken now compared to the previous commit, but we're at least approaching the situation where we can change this before to the new way, where A, R, and O are green. And I think if you're like me, you might be thinking, yeah, so what's the big deal, Rick? Let's go and make a for loop of guesses array. And maybe that's what we'll start with when we come back on this. But yeah, let's think about it some more. Let's see what we come up with. I appreciate it. I appreciate you checking this out. I really do. And we'll just see what we can come up with for next time.